Alright, peace family. Welcome back to the channel. In this one I want to make like a kind of a part two on the biasness that African Americans actually face here in this country. And with to set the example, I'm using the Jewish people's treatment from America to see just exactly or to show just exactly how they actually view uh African Americans. Okay, in South Carolina, it says, this is from Reuters. It says South Carolina passes a bill to fight anti-Semitism on campuses. This is in Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina has become the first U.S. state to pass legislation to fight against anti-Semitism on campus, after supporters of the measure said it would help colleges battle discrimination amid growing numbers of such incidents nationwide. So they saying that it's a problem going on with racism on campuses, but it spreads. It's not just like a general bill just that's just going to be limited to these college campuses. It says the bill passed the South Carolina House by 86 votes to 4. So only 4 people didn't vote for it on Wednesday. Its sponsor, a Republican representative, Alan Clemens, said its passage shows that the state was leading the fight against anti-Semitism. Opponents of the measure said that they thought it went too far into censoring critics of Israel's government. Governor Henry McMaster was expected to sign the measure into law when it reached his desk, a spokesperson said. The number of anti-Semitic incidences in the United States surged by 57% last year. The Anti-Defamation League said in February the advocacy group that marked the largest single year increase on a record. So they saying that anti-Semitism is on the rise. It rose 57%, the highest that they have on record. But Joe Corn, a legislative and policy director for the Nonpartisan Foundation for Individual Rights and Education, said the legislation would insert a tremendous amount of censorship onto college campuses around the discussion of Israel and its policies. But Clemens, the bill's sponsor, said it was long overdue. He said, I see Jews at the point of hate. I see Jews at the point of the hate spear in the country, Clemens said. So he's saying right now, in 2018, he see Jewish people at the spear of hate in the U.S. So right now, he's saying that the Jewish people receiving more hate than Hispanics. And what my presentation is about, he's saying that the Jewish people receive more hate than the African Americans. So what I want to do is I want to go to an event that just took place in Charleston, South Carolina. So everybody knows about Dylan Roof. He was a guy that went up into the Methodist Church and killed all of those people. But he was found guilty of 33 counts for the attack on the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church, where he went in there and killed a senator, a black senator, which everybody tried to act like that didn't happen. He didn't go in there and kill a government official. But my thing is, how can South Carolina have this event take place in their state or in their city, but in South Carolina, in its state, we supposed to believe that these people who he actually had memorabilia saying that he wanted to kill black people, so he let you know it was a racist event, these people ain't at the forefront of hate, not even in South Carolina. Because to my knowledge, I haven't seen no event like that take place in South Carolina where people were killed like that. So not only did we have Dylan Roof, who went in there with the Confederate, under the Confederate flag and the apartheid flag and whatnot, but this is in 2018 in July. 3 years later, the Confederate flag casts a shadow again over the South Carolina State House building. They had a little protest where they allowed these people to raise the flag up. 3 years after South Carolina removed the Confederate flag, with pomp and circumstances from the ground at South Carolina State House, the flag shadow flew across the north lawn of the state capitol again Tuesday. In what has become an annual ritual, about 30 flag supporters stood in warm morning sun to honor what they consider their heritage, placing the flag back in a place where it stood for 15 years as Dixie blared over the loudspeakers. So what we gotta get in our head and understand, it's no such thing as a racist generation dying out. So when these people tell you in a country where your ancestors was held as slaves and there hasn't been any restitution or even retribution, these people are going to every other group and bowing before them but the African American people. I just want to end it because it's not going to be long because it don't even have to be. But it says racist signs appear at African American Studies Department at the University of South Carolina. So they're talking about campus racism. They can't get over the fact of what Dylan Roof did and how his sister was arrested for doing some stuff, threatening people with guns to shoot up her school. And also how people have actually been copycats and they arrested a couple people who was trying to be like Dylan Roof. So, no, when we look at the front of the hate spear in the U.S., trust me, it's going to be black people and it'll forever be black people because their founding fathers had the idea of it being a superior and inferior. And everybody else who participates in this government, no matter black or white, will respect that pecking order because everybody knows the U.S. government is a largely white system. So everybody that fights to keep this system in place is fighting to keep that majority white because you don't even have enough people to become a majority in this government. So you trying to keep this government functional and operational, that means you are a white supremacist as well. There's no getting around it, just like Obama was a white supremacist. But white supremacy means black inferiority. So if you're a part of this system, you promote black inferiority because they have no agenda for black people. This is a clear bias in this country. I just want to show you, though, the rise of the black Holocaust denialism. Anytime they put these groups before our people, they're participating in that as well. But peace, family.
New details now on the controversy over North Miami Beach police using real mugshots during sniper target practice. Tonight, the department is answering accusations of racism as outraged families are speaking out about this. CBS 4's Peter Dench is live at the police station with more. Peter.
Family members and Florida's Democratic Black Caucus are calling on all law enforcement agencies in Miami-Dade to review their firearms training, particularly ones using mugshots like these right here for target practice. Now, the police chief at North Miami Beach is already announcing changes after what happened to Woody Dean.
I am a husband. I am a father. I am a hardworking man.
Woody Dean says he's horrified his mugshot was used as target practice by North Miami Beach police snipers.
I do not deserve to be a target for sport, as a training exercise, or for any reason, or neither does anyone else.
Dean served time after his arrest following a drag race on Biscayne Boulevard that took 2 lives.
I am not a mugshot. I'm not the tragic mistakes I made 14 years ago that cost the lives of my friends, and my clean record, and my freedom.
Dean's sister Valerie, a National Guard sergeant, discovered her brother's mugshot last month during training at this Medley Center.
Since then, my life has completely changed because I'm in fear for my brother's life, my brother's safety in the streets where we reside.
Police have defended the use of photos, saying they're vital for facial recognition drills. The Florida Democratic Black Caucus and Dean's attorney say commercially produced targets like this one are a much better option than the mugshots of African American and Hispanic men.
As we look at this practice and we see a citizen with a bullet through their head, a bullet through their eye, we must have answers.
The North Miami Beach police chief said his 2-man sniper team is comprised of minorities and says the team picked the mugshots for practice. That will not happen again. Chief J. Scott Dennis says the new procedure will be that no one will be shooting photographic images in the future. He says he also hopes this incident will not set back progress his department's made with community relations. Now, police have said no policies were violated and no officers will be disciplined. But any items such as these targets using mugshots will be destroyed, and the police chief says the department will be more sensitive to the community. Meanwhile, the attorney for Dean says he's considering a lawsuit. We're live in Medley. Peter Dench, CBS 4 News. Elliot.
Peter, thanks a lot. We're